Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Let's Talk, the series where you actually get what is advertised. This is your friendly neighborhood Birdman, and today we're talking Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is the third film in the 2018 trilogy, so technically the fourth film, but also the 13th film. It catches up with Laurie Strode 4 years after the previous film's events that saw the Shape get maimed by the townspeople and Laurie's daughter killed. She's now living with her granddaughter and trying to adjust to regular life while the town is slowly infected with the evil that Michael Myers has sown. On Halloween night, someone is gonna die. I'm conflicted. On one hand, I have to applaud the marketing for this film for not actually giving the plot of this movie away. Too many times have I seen the entire movie in the trailer for a film. I'm looking at you, Terminator and Batman v Superman. So it would be hypocritical of me for not giving this movie props for keeping what this film is actually about a secret. The problem I have is the actual plot is a borderline bait and switch. We are sold on the idea of this movie being the final showdown between Laurie and Michael, and that is in here. The issue is that it's only in here for like the last 15 minutes of this movie. Seriously, the majority of this movie's runtime is about a completely different topic and does not feel like a Halloween movie. But let's talk about the good first. Jamie Lee Curtis is great as always. The original Final Girl is riding this horse like a pro, and she is a joy to watch. Easily the best aspect of this film, it's fun to watch Laurie Strode be the badass that she is now since the 2018 movie. Seeing her deal with the trauma of losing her daughter and trying to adjust to a shaken Haddonfield after the disappearance of Michael Myers is interesting. I also thought the opening of this movie was great. It plays with the audience's expectations, as does the movie as a whole, but the opening in particular set up what was to come very well. The tension this movie can produce is top-notch, and even though there are quite a few jump scares, I think they were well placed and will make for a fun theater experience. The kills are also well worth mentioning, as a few of them were quite disturbing, especially one involving a record player. That one had half my theater squirming and the other half laughing. But on that note, strangely, the movie felt less like a slasher and more like a thriller, which can be seen as a negative to some. I'm of two minds on the matter. On one hand, I'd have preferred if there were more kills and more gore, but I did think the slow burn nature of the film worked okay for the story they were trying to tell. Which brings me to the negatives. This movie leans more towards character study than slasher. The film kind of focuses on the negative effect the Shape has had on the people in the city, and I gotta be honest, that shit was kinda boring. Michael in particular was kinda baffling. There are some characterization choices made in this movie that I don't think fit the character that we have seen in the previous three movies, decisions that literally have Mike lollygagging around, not doing much while something else is happening. In previous films, he's this unstoppable force of nature that is functionally a Terminator. He can't be reasoned with, doesn't have a conscience, and will not stop killing. Let's just say old Mike is a little different in this picture. I get what the filmmakers were trying to do, and man, did they swing for the fences, but Jesus Christ. I found myself looking at my watch, waiting for Michael to start tearing shit up, and it never really came. Scratch that, it came at the end of this 111-minute movie. This movie honestly feels like they had the ending down but didn't know how to get there and simply blended a whole other movie to this one to get the runtime up to feature length. And in that respect, this film is largely disappointing, and I feel the majority of audiences will feel that way too. While I applaud the filmmakers for trying something different, the title of this film, while largely accurate, is also inaccurate in the sense that it's unlike the other movies in this series. The ends part is literally at the end, and most of this film is, quite frankly, pointless. Almost all of it could have been cut and you'd still get the exact same ending, which is pretty good to be fair. But alas, nobody goes into a Halloween movie and expects something else. And this film is something else. C-.